Hello, internet.
We finally did. We clicked the go live button. We could have gone live like 10 minutes ago. We were busy chatting.
I know, right? We could have gone live, but like that's the real thing that I have to get my mind around is the fact that you can just go live and just shoot the shit for a little bit.
We totally should have gone like 10 minutes ago.
We
God, what
should
should we
have.
talk about? And then we discussed them, and then we had a chat about them, and then we were like, we should have just talked about this
We should have just talked about it on stream.
because I really want to know about your snowmageddon. Because I
Oh my
love the snowmageddon in Charlotte right now.
gosh. So, okay, I live in Charlotte, North Carolina. So it's southeast United States. Okay, we don't really get snow. So whenever we do get snow, everybody panics. Like it's Snowmageddon 2022. It happens once a year, but it's actually been 2 years since we've really gotten snow, like anything that's stuck, right? Okay. Kids are out of school. I predict they're going to be out of school all week. So I'll
Yeah.
update you guys on Thursday. Like on Thursday when we have a stream, I'll let you know. But my prediction is they're going to be out of school all week, and there's no bread, there's no milk, there's no eggs for like miles. Okay, there's like the cupboards, the shelves of these grocery stores are bare, and I'm going to show you what Snowmageddon 2022 looks like.
Hey, Himanshu. Oh no. Oh no. Cancel school for the next month.
Cancel school, like high
I mean,
scores
if you
and
can't see the
even
ground, it's done,
sandwiches.
right?
Hmm?
If you can't, what is progress? There's a bunch of questions already coming in. We've just started. Let's show
Right.
them.
Oh
But
wow.
firstly, we'll answer all of these questions and all of these lovely people, except for the fact that you can't go to school with that much snow anywhere, can you?
You really can't. Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm sitting here talking to my kids. I mean, even though I went to school in Atlanta, Georgia, also Southeast United States, so we did get off. But I would like to tell my kids that I had to walk to school in like a foot of snow, uphill both ways.
Yeah. And you used to work 8 days a week with no
Right?
lights in a cave.
Exactly.
Have you seen the sketch? You know,
Mhm.
where is it?
Hello. Look, we've got some questions. I'm happy about that. Look, LinkedIn really does
Where's it?
like give us a lot of interaction, I will say. Hello,
Yeah,
Hima.
LinkedIn's lovely. So let's start from Himanshu. Hey, Himanshu. Uh, nice to have you on the stream.
Yep, nice to have you.
And Alex, you are alive indeed. How you doing?
Yep.
And my brain is not computing this person's lovely name. But what is Progress Chef? So, is it about a year ago now?
Yeah, it has been. Like the acquisition happened a year ago.
So
Wow.
Chef got acquired about a year ago. I'm wearing my lovely Chef t-shirt, all the Chef colours and all the Chef bows and stuff like that. You're wearing your sales kickoff
Yeah, my
shirt,
skull
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yep. And
Uh,
actually, this is Chef Progress now. You've got Chef before it was Chef Progress or
I think it
Progress.
might actually. I think it might still be branded Chef Burger on the back. Is it?
No, it's
No.
just
Oh no. Oh no. I've got.
oh,
I've,
you
I've
got like
got.
you got an original.
I've got historic swag.
Right,
Yeah.
right. It's like classic now,
Yeah. Vintage classic chef
right?
swag.
So yep,
So
we've
chef
got
got.
there you
Go,
go.
go, go.
Go ahead. We all saying we got acquired. We tried to figure out like because now we got Chef Progress and now like the official is Progress Chef.
Yeah.
We were trying to figure out like which way we were gonna go with the names, but now we've like we've settled on Progress Chef, and now we can like get all the swag that has Chef Progress on it, and just get it given to us because we can't send it to other people, right? Is that kind of how that goes?
Yeah.
But
But
yeah,
yeah.
you
It's just the. So chef is kind of like a product group within. So yeah, chef is a product group within Progress. Progress is like our, you might say, umbrella company, our parent company.
the
Like
ABC course.
right. Yeah. So we're Course C, and we put it like we're internally like Course C. We've got some lovely people over at. I'm going to go and shout them out. I'm going to start our. Where is it?
And you know what?
doing Code Life.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
These are
that's
our
a
friends over at Corby. These are our Telerik friends, Code Life. If you like C# coding, you like, what was it? It's CSS, I think they were doing the other day.
yep.
They're really engaging. They're lovely people. Occasionally, there may be a chicken on stream. If there's a chicken on stream, don't be afraid. It's
Don't be
just
alarmed.
Alyssa in her chicken outfit. But
They're
also, if
really
I happen to end up in a chicken outfit at some point, again, not be surprised. I will be getting
right.
some costumes at some point.
They sent
But
me a
yeah.
chicken head. It didn't really fit over my hair, but I had different hair at the time, so maybe this time it will. Like, but I've got a chicken head, and I don't know. Like, I've got to figure out when to bust it out.
Oh, okay. We can bust it out on a Thursday. Oh, and before we go any further, we're going to start doing some streams. So our Thursday streams are usually sort of conversational streams, less informative streams. So today's going to be our what's doing Cookstyle 7.3, so they're more product focused.
Yeah.
Our Thursday streams are kind of the hallway track. So we're going to call our Thursday streams the hallway track.
Yep.
So anything we want to talk about, whether it's DevSecOps, DevOps, other streams, just other happenings within the world of DevOps. We have guests on as well. Our Thursday guest, am I right thinking that our Thursday guest is our hackathon winner?
Yeah. Amberly KK.
Mm.
Can't wait to talk to her. It's gonna be cool.
And Stoke Festival. Thursday is our guest hour, as our guest day, and our guests are super cool, and we appreciate them
Yeah.
so much for coming on.
Normally practitioners, normally, or either some people, like especially our hackathon folks, a lot of times they are like new to Chef, so that's pretty awesome. Like to listen to their developer journey, and how they even stumbled upon Chef in our hackathon. So that's gonna be cool to learn more about their journeys, and then everybody that we bring on, we're kind of like gonna ask those types of questions and figure out whether or not they like tabs or spaces. Hey Dan, I got a question for you though. So the hallway track, I love it. Is it like, so we're thinking um like networking portion of a conference, like where you actually get to talk, like in the hallway going from one talk to another, and you meet
Yeah,
folks.
so like we might just chat about Cookstyle on Thursday, for example, with a bunch of people who've used Cookstyle before. So we might do
Hmm.
like Cookstyle Tuesdays, and then on a Thursday we'll be like, yeah, I've used Cookstyle before, and we'll talk about guests and their experience with Cookstyle or something like that. So it's almost like
Yeah,
you've had a you've had the main talk, you've had the main event, and then you come in and be like, yeah, that was interesting. What about
yeah,
the other thing? And it's way more organic. So we might end up just talking about the sushi in the place at the end of the road, or something like that. Or the fact that there's no snow. There's no snow.
the fact that there's no snow, but everybody's freaking out, like there is
Yeah,
like it's Snowmageddon. That is
yeah.
legit the name that we've all like given it in the southeast. It's Snowmageddon. So today we're going to be talking about like Cookstyle, what's new in Cookstyle 7.30.1, right? Like that's going to be cool. But first, let's go into pre-flight checks because we do this every time. We need to get more followers, and you guys need to know where to follow us. So let's get into it. If you are not following us on Twitter, what are you doing? Um, and you'll learn about our live stream schedule. You'll learn about what we're going to be streaming about the next day or whatever following Tuesday or Thursday there is. You'll learn about webinars that are coming up, um, and other little things that we're doing at Chef. Dan is also on Twitter. He tweets about Brexit and Chef stuff, like technical stuff. What else? What else,
I
Dan?
haven't I haven't I haven't complained about Brexit for at least a week now. Let me just see. What was I ranting about this week? It's probably just retweets at this point.
Oh goodness.
No quick squares. What was I ranting about? Come on.
Yeah, I'm sure it was something informative. I remember like last week you had um something about like a video, like a tutorial video about, was it waivers? And that was pretty.
Oh, my waivers video from Slack. Yeah, that's probably
Yeah,
been the most helpful thing for the stream actually. Is I'm trying to put out really short, really small videos on Twitter about waivers and that kind of stuff.
yeah,
So you can just jump in, see that, jump back out again.
yeah. That would be awesome. If you follow me on Twitter at Black Girl CTO, I basically like repost chef stuff, but also or retweet chef stuff, but also like sometimes I may post about a live stream before chef does because I may have made the content.
Yeah.
So, follow me there. I'm not super active on Twitter, but like I'm getting there. I'm figuring that out. That's like a goal for 2022 for me to like get to become more active on Twitter. It's like one of our resolutions. And if you are part of our community and you use Chef, you should be on our community Slack. There we have a community meeting every week where we post about like releases, we get updates from the teams, and we actually get to interact with folks on community Slack. Like generally everybody who's anybody in our community is going to be there, and you can DM them. We have different rooms for or different channels for our different products. And if you need like help with something because you're using Chef and you get stuck on something, community Slack is where you want to be, because you're gonna get some real time, especially if you live in like, one of the time zones that the majority of our folks are in. So like any of the um EMEA time zones and US time zones, we got a lot of folks there. So if you're in those time zones and you got real time questions, ask in community Slack. Trust me on that. All right. Now, if you're not, like if you're like in Japan or something like that, you want to go to Discourse because, well, you'll also get your questions answered there. You'll also be able to, I mean, you can be on Slack as well, but you'll get your questions answered on Discourse. And that's going to be where people will go to like, if you got a long form question, like a forum style type thing. And it's not going to be real time. It's going to be like, the next day or something like that. She'll get answered on Discourse, but still very helpful information. And all of our community notes or all of our community meeting notes from our community meeting that's held on Slack are put on Discourse. So, you know, if you have trouble keeping up on Slack, check out that avenue. Yeah. So let's get into Cookstyle. Like let's first of all, let's talk about what Cookstyle is. Right? Like we can start there. And I've got our docs. That's a really good plug for our docs because that's what. Hold on. Get it
Where are
stuck.
the ducks? I can hear the ducks up. Let me just go grab them.
Yep. Boom. Share. Yeah.
Right. Let me make this a bit bigger.
Oh, there you go.
There we go.
All right. So Cookstyle, the code linting tool, like with autocomplete, and it helps you write better chef and for cookbooks. Um, so basically, I guess I can read it from the slide here. Cookstyle is a code linting tool that helps you write better chef and for cookbooks by detecting and automatically correcting style, syntax, and logic mistakes in your code. So IntelliSense for infra. Does that like make sense, Dan? So like IntelliSense,
In any sense, probably not very more
well,
like it's more
like
like
Flint for
yeah,
infra.
it's a big linter. Uh, in fact, if I scroll down a little.
So I'm like, JavaScript, C sharp, like,
Oh, so if you use JavaScript, I'm trying to think of a linter. If you use, oh my god, I've completely forgotten what JavaScript linter. Oh my gosh.
yeah, I
Uh,
was thinking ESLint.
yes, like, thank you. Thank you. It's exactly what I was trying to figure out. My brain is just like, no, you will not have the name. You will not have the name. We can
Yeah,
come back later. Yeah, ESLint.
ESLint.
ESLint does auto corrections as well.
Yep.
Rubicop is beautiful. So Rubicop is like a Ruby version of this.
Hmm.
So in the chef ecosystem, well, Chef underneath the hood uses Ruby. All of your recipes and resources and stuff use Ruby or YAML, but we don't use YAML right now.
God.
We So it uses Ruby under the hood, so we can just use a Ruby linter most of the time for your basic stuff. So we had a really Cookstyle started off as an opinionated version of Rubycook, and then we got the really cool stuff, which was we had Cookstyle, which is just an opinionated version of Rubycook, and then we had Food Critic. A Food
Aha.
Critic was like, "Hey, you're doing these things wrong." Let me just see if I can find Food Critic. So is another linter. Food Critic Chef has been deprecated now because Cookstyle is so damn good. So style correctness, syntax, best practices, common mistakes, and deprecations. So that list there that I just bled out. So style things like you're importing class wrong, correctness. So if you're using not ifs correctly or you've indented incorrectly. Best practices. So if you're I can't remember best practice off the top of my head, but I'm sure we'll figure out one in a second from examples. And common mistakes. So maybe you'll rather than calling the systemd question mark helper, you say if you use an OI thing to then figure out if it's systemd or whatever. Like, that's a common mistake. Like, yeah, you can totally do that, or you can just use a systemd helper. And deprecations. I will show you one of the deprecations later on because I know we have a deprecation that we fixed in one of our examples. So,
Okay.
I won't spoil it.
Cool.
But basically, like things that have gone away, no longer needed. Food Critic was really helpful. It was really hard to maintain. It was very organically built. Cookstyle, on the other hand, uses the Rubycook engine underneath, and we built a bunch of really cool rules. Here it is. On top of Rubycook, so it's like come on. So just the Cookstyle. I've been in it for ages. It's been. No, it hasn't been. This is where I realised that I haven't been under here for so long.
Oh wow.
Come on, cops. There we go. Thank you. So we'll do the chef one first. The inspect ones are super interesting and new. So if you like chef inspect, then Cookstyle is still for you. So cops, chef, and then there's correctness, deprecations, effortless, if we get correctness, for example. So chef, valid default action. There's an example here, and then we just use the native Rubycock language to do that. This gives us autocorrect out the bag. So what we couldn't do with Food Critic and a bunch of other tools. No. Right. I need to jump a second. We get autocorrect. I need to go and save my son. Save my wife from my son. That's it. She's coughing.
Okay.
She's stuck. So, really apologise. I'll be back in 2 seconds.
All right. Cool.
Shouldn't the snow pictures, because the snow pictures are cool. Or we could just take them into 5 minutes once the video's on. We'll put the loop of the video on. And we'll be back in 5. I apologise. I'll catch you in a bit.
Oh wow! Look, we got that pretty cool thing. um, actually, I think we are going to take a break for a moment. Oh, well, it looks like we got two people looking, so maybe we'll stay on. Where are you guys calling? Where are you guys tuning in from? Put it in the chat. And like, what's the weather like out there? Oh, you're back.
Right.
That was quick.
Okay, I had to just like run water up to her because she was busy coughing because she hasn't got
Oh.
COVID. She's been PCR swabbed today, but not yesterday. But yeah, she's got a horrendous cough.
Oh
That's messed up.
no. Wait, so you said she does have COVID?
Doesn't have COVID. The swab came
Okay,
out negative. But
good.
turns out you can get ill from other things.
Yeah, true.
I was
Yes,
talking
yes,
to
I can.
I was talking to our boss about this earlier on, and I was like, "It turns out you can get ill from other things that aren't COVID." I don't know. I mean, you can, I guess. And I'm like horribly aching right now. Let me see. What were you talking about? I just came back and just like jumped in.
Yeah, I was asking folks where they were from because I was like, what are we going to talk about? But
I know. I'm always interested where people are from. So we've got a couple of people from India, which is
yeah, and
great.
we got a huge community in India, like a huge community in India. So I
Oh,
think
so what I want to know actually is, would you like a Wednesday stream on slightly more IST friendly time, slightly earlier in the day?
that's a good idea.
If you would like that, let me know in the comments right now on LinkedIn because we're thinking about starting a stream up on a Wednesday, a bit earlier. And also let me know if that like earlier doesn't work because we can start it and then no one turns up.
Uh-huh.
I've got people from the Netherlands. Thank you very much.
The Netherlands. Wow, that's what's
So
up.
Daniel spelled his name all fancy. I can't. Like, it's just a better spelled version of my name, basically, and that's that.
You're
So
right.
thank you, thank you. Also, like, the Netherlands always have like the best surnames, like Van Doorn, sorry. Uh, it's like in retrospect, like it's like UK names are now boring now. Just see too many of them. But
I know.
anyway, I was talking about InSpec. No,
Yeah. Okay. All right, get
Cookstyle.
back.
I will get back on track. Good. So we have like auto. We can auto correct things now, which is super super handy. And as a
Yes.
result of being able to auto correct them, we can write bots that auto correct them. Not this one. Okay. I mean, I just say bots because we have two bots. Tim has a bot. He was a chef, and sous chefs have a bot called Kitchen Porter. So they're actually two bots running the same cook style stuff underneath the hood. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I like my Kitchen Porter because it's my Kitchen Porter. That's just a thing. But we can do stuff like this. So because we've got all of the uh, because we're not using food critic anymore, we're just using Cookstyle. And because we're using Cookstyle, we also get the Rubicop rules underneath the hood. We get all of
Uh-huh.
the fixes that Rubicop put into the lenses there. So if we decide that as a Ruby community, we find that there's a new thing that's broken or we shouldn't use filed right anymore, then we get those fixes for free, which is pretty sweet. And actually, before you'd probably want to run Rubicop and Food Critic anyway with our two rule sets. So now we've got this merged, and like we've like this super thing called the newest Cookstyle is great.
And
And
even
so as
like,
a result, if you're not using Chef Workstation and you're still using Chef DK,
mhm.
get up there because Workstation's got all the new stuff. So
I
style.
thought, aren't we telling everybody to kill Chef DK?
Oh yeah, we should just don't use Chef DK. I mean, you
Just
can
don't.
use it, just you're wrong in using
Yeah.
it.
You're wrong.
And
If you just want to be wrong, then go ahead and do it.
yeah, it's using a bunch of outdated tooling. And if you want to get to any new / recent version of Chef, you want newer tooling than you're going to, and definitely than you're coming from. So you can still say, I want to run Chef 12 in my test pipelines using Test Kitchen, but you want to use latest workstation, for example. You can still use different versions of Chef Compliance with it. Doesn't mean that just because you're using 12 or 13 doesn't mean you can't use the latest version of workstation, which is the nice thing about it, which is pretty cool. Let me see. What do we fix? Oh, it's a super simple one. In fact, this isn't even a Cookstyle fix. This is a Rubicop fix of the hood. So file that right rather than opening it and then writing it. You just write file that right.
Oh, because like, yeah, it's probably like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
More efficient.
F- Thanks. because yes, this is a nice thing about this tool. We've actually done Cookstyle linting under the hood, so we run Again, if we run Cookstyle, and then it does this, and then it like runs it again as part of the PR.
Hmm.
We've also found it set unified mode true isn't set to true at the moment. So, in fact, what I'm going to do here is just merge this in. It's a super simple one. This is our Ruby core fix, for example. So I'm just going to hit approve. Let me just see
Oh,
if
so it's like just like a PR.
this is a PR. It's a full-on PR to fix a cookbook. Just double check. We've
Yeah.
got a
Okay.
yeah. Okay.
So yeah, you
Yeah.
too can contribute to Cookstyle.
Yeah. Oh, so this isn't a Cookstyle. So this is a sous chef cookbook having Cookstyle run on it. I know that those are broken. I don't think that Cookstyle's broken it, so I'm gonna yeah. It's fine. I'm gonna ignore that. It's fine. And that'll get released. In fact, it's probably already been released. Let me just double check in the announcements channel. Yeah, it's
The
already been released.
Yep, there you go. Because we talked about
If
that
you go on,
about how
sorry.
like, that happens automatically now.
Yeah, if you want to hear about the sous chef release pipeline, uh, this is not the stream for it. Uh, except I could wrong. I could rave about it all day long. The Elixir cookbook's kind of interesting. There must be a better one around it somewhere. There's quite of like there was one with like 15. Atlantis. So this is an easy one. Let's look at unified mode, for example. So this isn't U for 13. There was something else. Where are we? Yes. This is platform help. This is platform family helpers. You might be new in 7 something. And this is a common like misuse of the language. You can this is totally valid way of doing it,
Hmm.
but a nicer way of doing it. So node platform family. So use an OHI generated automatic attribute. Like get the value of that, and then make sure if it's Windows, then yeah, fine. Or you could say platform family Windows. That's a much nicer way of saying it. It's a kind of more standardized way of saying it these days. So platform family is like Ubuntu or Debian, actually, sorry, or Red Hat platform family. And then all of the derivatives of Red Hat get this thing, and all of the derivatives of Windows gets the Windows thing. So it's a much nicer way of like generalizing things.
Hmm.
I think, yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm just gonna pre-fund. Move on. TikTok. Oh, it's the Arc cookbook. I won't release that one because I'm gonna be super careful on that one. What's this one?
Which cookbook is that?
That was the Arc cookbook.
Oh,
Uh, I'm not going to touch that one because I know that I was in the middle of doing something with that. What's another one?
gotcha.
I'm just going to check my notifications because I had one earlier on. Foreman. That. Again, this isn't even a chef related thing. I need to go find some chef related stuff, but it turns out. Oh, brilliant. Hi, David. Co-Camp Serenity. How you doing? Oh, Garden City,
Oh,
Canada. It's pretty
okay.
cool.
Hey.
Again, this is just like a Ruby thing. So if else clause. This isn't maybe a thing that you would normally write, but when you're autocorrecting, actually makes it easier to read long term. That's always good. So again, that works quite nicely. Sure, there was another one somewhere. Tonka. Let's have a
So could
look
this
at Tomcat.
because like some syntactical changes happened in Ruby, or is that what that is? You think?
So some of those, yeah. Ah, there we go. So use correctedness. Oh, come on, where are you? Foreman, DJ, find utils. I think the MSys book might be the one of them. Again, here's another one. We were using file.write. Places. Oh, I can't find it.
Don't beat up the keyboard, Dan.
Oh, come on. Where is it gone?
What did the
Oh, I
keyboard?
know you're under somewhere. Create missing, create missing. Oh, so this is a really cool thing, actually. This is, I'm almost 90% sure, 90% sure this is new 7.3. So,
He just started this.
redundant code, creative missing. So this is a really cool one that gets catches a bunch of people out. And I've seen this. I think there's like 4 or 5 cookbooks. So Sous chefs own about 170 cookbooks. So a lot of the code that's written works, but they didn't write. And sometimes you have code that works, and it's perfectly good code, and like in fact it functions fine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna make this bigger because it's the one I want to show. Sometimes you have like perfectly working code, and you have a cookbook that John from down the road wrote, or like the last person wrote, whose chef instructor it was, and then you've taken over this baby and it's fine. You've got this cookbook and it works perfectly fine and it's great. But what it's not doing is it's not running the code efficiently. It's not using the latest and greatest code, or it's not doing it in a really weird roundabout way. This is one of those things.
Mm-hmm.
So a weird roundabout way is so remote file exe. So whatever this exe thing is here. So this this string. So remote file. So create a file. Fine. Called exe or whatever the thing eventually. Oh my god! I've been on stream for so long to know my words have actually fallen out of my brain. Resolves to. So
Okay.
when whatever this string resolves to. So create this thing, this file on disk basically. But don't do it if the file exists. Or you could use the creative missing action. Like
Oh.
loads of people don't see the use creative missing action. Like, they just don't see it. So actually, like rather than having to use not ifs, just use creative missing, and it will do all of the hard work for you. So you can just get rid of that. And that's a really really common mistake in chef.
Okay.
Is using guards where you don't need to use them. There was another one earlier on that was another common mistake. I've made this several times because I didn't realize it was a thing, which was just hang on a second, and you can see the stupidity on my face. I just didn't realize it was a thing. Stupidity. It's actually super simple. Super simple. So it's really obvious failure, but I didn't realize that every single resource that you create in Chef gets the sensitive property by default. So if you're creating a new custom resource
Mm-hmm.
and you want you've got a password thing, or like you've got something that manages passwords or does passwords under the hood, then you might want to have set the resources sensitive under the hood, so you don't stream things to chef output. Well, turns out that's a built-in function to every single resource. Is every single resource has a property called sensitive attached to it as well. So you can
Okay.
always set a resource to sensitive.
Uh-huh.
Not obvious, but Cookstyle will fix that for you. It's like, well, you've told me you've got an option called property sensitive, and it's a true false, and default is false or true or whatever. You don't need to do that on a resource. So Cookstyle will come and correct it, also correct it for you, or tell you it's wrong, because it's already there. You're creating a property that already exists. There's literally no need for it to be there, which is really nice. So
Okay.
this is where Cookstyle really really helps. Like if you haven't seen the documentation about it, or you've missed that little weird thing, that little weird way of writing Ruby because you're not in the Ruby world, you're in the Chef world, then it will be like, hey, here's a better way of writing it, or hey, you don't need to go and write this guard, for example. Like this creative missing. I very rarely use creative missing as well. I've always pretty much used create because it's all over the place.
Hey Dan, I
And
see we got some new viewers. Let's talk. Let's tell them what we're talking about today. Like,
yeah, I mean, what are we talking about?
Cookstyle changes in 7.30.1. Ooh, that was a lot of background
There's a
noise.
very loud car. Let me shut this window.
Yeah, it's all good. Yes. So for those who are just tuning in, we are talking about Cookstyle, and we talked about what Cookstyle was. So it's basically ESLint for Chef Infra, and well, we can use it in Chef Inspect too as well, right?
Yeah.
Dan?
So there's a cop. So underneath the hood, Rubicop has cops that correct things. Hey, you're doing something wrong. There's a deprecation cop within spec. So we've changed the is it attributes to input? Yeah, attributes are now inputs. So inspec used to have a keyword called attributes that we are deprecating. I've been trying to deprecate for 2 years, but of course, reasons. Um, Now we can do that. We can start deprecating and removing it because we have a Rubicop star cop to fix inspect things now. Because inspect under the hood again is just Ruby, so we can just fix that.
Okay, awesome.
So yeah, it literally just changes one word for another, aka uses the correct word. Which is nice.
Right. So just like so, if you're coming from the web development world, like we're thinking ESLint, right? Like that's the kind of tool that we're looking at here, like a linter. Linter. I
Yeah.
mean, so like the guardrails for when you are writing code without coffee, or maybe you're new or something like that. You know what I mean?
Or you leave the window open in January.
Yeah, or you leave the window open in January.
I did leave the window open in January. I've been in here all day. That's my excuse is I've been in here for about 6 hours at this point, and it's probably quite smelly. And I don't know why the heating was on, and the radiator decided it was not hot enough in here, so I was melting. So I'm
Oh
just
wow,
forcing the
yeah.
radiator. But it's now the radiator's now on. It's fine.
Yeah, it's
Well, it's cold outside. It's not snowing. Although it's 5 degrees outside.
you guys aren't having snow.
No, we're not having snow again because what is it? What is it? What temperature is outside? What temperature? Come on, give me the temperature. I have no idea. My phone is annoying me. It's not that cold outside.
Well, judging by the fact that you have on a t-shirt with the window open,
Yeah.
can't be that cold.
I mean, that thing was stinking hot a second ago. So
Gotcha.
yeah, I feel like the TLDR about this whole so the latest release is a bunch of small new cops. But what I really wanted to show is you can use inspect for a bunch of stuff. Sorry, inspect. You can use Cookstyle for inspect as well now. 24F. I mean, what even is that in real money?
24. Where are you? Where are you, David? Oh, you said
minus
you're in
4.5. Canada. I mean, it's allowed.
Oh yeah.
Also, Canadians, just use C, please. Don't be sheeps and use F. Why would you do that? It's just the wrong. It's just nasty. Yeah, so it was when I said it was like 0 today. I think it was 0 degrees C, which is
where
what?
in Canada? It's like Garden City, Canada.
Yeah.
I've been to Toronto,
Yeah.
and I was in Toronto in April. Not last April, but a few Aprils ago, and it was cold. And I'm just like, how is it still cold in April? But only in Toronto. Toronto's a great city, by the way. I mean, I'm sure everybody who's from Canada is like, yeah, everybody goes to Toronto. Yep. Yep, I did. I did what everybody else does. But
It's like everyone visits London, right? It's like everyone is from London in the UK.
Right.
Like, oh, you're from the UK. Do you live near London? No.
Right.
Yeah.
Everyone, I was like, hey, I've got an uncle in London. Do you know him?
Wait, no, I don't. His name is George. Oh, I do know him.
Right. That's that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be super small out there, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
I think we should wrap it up. If anyone got any questions, about inspect deprecations or just anything Cookstyle related, then we'd wrap it up. But if you have any more questions about Inspec, join us on the community Slack or join us on Thursday. We're going to talk about our hackathon, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely join us on Thursday. I'm stoked about seeing that team other guest.
Yeah, it's gonna be super fun. Yeah, I'm excited about that. So definitely tune in. And if you forget, you should be following us on Twitter so you will be reminded. How about that? Boom. Nice little shameless plug at the end there.
No, Twitter, that one. Yeah,
right. Right there.
yeah, that's pretty cool. Take it easy.
Yeah. See you next time.